allow the children. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, my ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, my ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, my ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do even no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man do they talk. He do they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun diary politico.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Hello there. So good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is brunch time with Mayegun live. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, welcome to another segment or a session of brunch time with Mayegun. A bit of a snippet into what is still to come, a tip from what is happening in the contraption from last night to this hour. So please, I haven't read the caption of this broadcast. Please read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun is live. That's all you have to do. Once you share this, you just put it, Mayegun is live. Join us. So from Nigeria this morning, their national grid that is being managed by the greedy or the needy collapsed again. It's always like that. So 3 days ago, it collapsed and it hasn't really recovered from that collapse. When 48 hours after, it has collapsed again. We are talking about a country that is purportedly over 200 million people, but generating just a patchy between 4,000 and 5,000 megawatts of electricity, distributing less than 2,000 of same. A country in darkness, and still their greed has continued to collapse their national grid, because it's like a greed, the greedy, looting the commonwealth of the needy, unable to maintain the supposed electricity grid called the national grid, and made the country of a darkness. Okay, so Nigeria national grid, there is a video. Sorry, I didn't bring that to you. There's a video of a dancing national grid like that. It's like that, collapsing and collapsing back and forth. In 2014, APC, Ebekebe, then promised the gullible Nigerians that all they needed was just to have access to power, to gain power. And they would be generating 10,000 megawatts of electricity every year. And the first 4 years, they promised them to generate 40,000 megawatts of electricity. If they had kept to that promise, by now, Nigeria would have probably have more than 90,000 megawatts of electricity. We probably should be enjoying 24 hours electricity. When these criminals took over power in 2015, 9 years ago, Nigeria was generating over 8,000 megawatts of electricity, distributing at the time over 6,000 of same. But according to APC, that was incompetence, Pro Max, they called it. How could Nigeria be distributing a 5,000 megawatt of electricity, generating 8,000? That's a failure. Even the Bantueyo, Isaleko Barack Obama, Fashola, made a statement at the time that generating electricity is just so easy. It is like putting together 1,000 pieces of your I better pass my neighbor generators. Put them together. That's 1 megawatt. So then if you put like a 1 million, no, sorry, if you put 100,000 of them together, that's like, it made it sound so easy. Then they rigged themselves into power under the influence of a change, only for Nigeria electricity to, not only the generation to drop, it dropped drastically. And for the first time in 30 years, Nigeria national grid collapsed for the first time. The last time before then was in 1984, the year I was born. And guess who was their president then? No, sorry, 1985, a year after I was born. So this was in 2015. So the person in charge of Nigeria at the time, that Nigeria national grid, Nigeria national electricity collapsed, like nationally, was the man they rewarded with the presidency then, Bukwari. He was the military coup leader of Nigeria. And the incompetence was so much that since independence, Nigeria national grid collapsed severally before Babangida removed him. Then 30 years later, these criminals, these career criminals, Tifnumbu and Co., they managed to bring him back, and he repeated the same feat. Since then, Nigeria national grid has collapsed over 200 times. I know sometimes they will say the collapse that affected the entire country is just 98. Others are just like partially. Eko Shidano, the total collapse announced between 2015 and this 2024 of Nigeria national grid has been counted as 264 times. Some not partially, some totally. Sure you get. So it has now become something like it's a normal thing, right? That people just kind of just feel like it's okay. Oh, it don't collapse again. It don't collapse. So let's wait for them. They'll soon bring it back. They have added, I keep saying this, so did you know that in 9 years, APC, Ebekebe, they have not added a single megawatt of electricity to the national grid of Nigeria? 1 megawatt, one. I know that they've told you that they have this one generating this one there, that one generating this and that. This guy met a country that wasn't great, that wasn't so poor, so terrible, right? In 2015. But they told you that you deserved better. That whatever it was you had there in 2015 was so horrible, so terrible. 8,000. Go and Google it. Don't kind of believe what I say. Just go on your phone now. What was the Nigeria power generation between 2014 and 2015? Then go and check what is Nigeria's power generation now. Then also go back and check again. What was Nigeria's distribution, power distribution at the time? And then what is it now? APC in 9 years, after spending over $2 billion, if you put the money together, over $2 billion on electricity generation in Nigeria, they've not added a single megawatt of electricity to Nigeria national grid. Not a single one. Rather, it has depreciated so much that they actually want you to be so grateful. So for it collapsing, it also helped in a way destroying businesses. How? Businesses now have to, thank you very much, M. King. That's very kind of you. Yeah, we crossed the 100,000 yesterday. Okay. And then now we are going on to 200,000. Well, before you know it, if they're not shut my Egunzari political down, in another, maybe in another 1 year or two, we may actually cross 200,000 subscribers. Yeah, there's so much to look forward to. Organically, these are like organic subscribers. People who just kind of like, oh, I love this guy. Oh, I love this channel. oh, I like what this person is doing. And some of them have taken their subscription back. It meant they don't like what I'm doing again. I don't like what you just said. So it's very, very kind of like, soothing. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks to us, we did it. I will keep it that way, okay? So we'll keep laying the truth. No matter whose ox is God. Whatever I say to you, okay, you can always go on and check if it is true. Is Mayegun saying the truth? Or is just saying things because he didn't like these guys? I have no reason to like them. You see me, I always hate what I don't like. Here you get, like, if I don't like something, I don't pretend around it. I am not a politically correct person. Say, but no, there's no but in my own dictionary. Once I am like, once I don't like the people, I'll give you reasons, Rodo. There's no reason to like anything that has to do with APC. But they destroyed Nigeria. They divided Nigeria more. They made us realize who we truly are beyond the facade, the lies of one Nigeria, this one Nigeria that APC actually opened our eyes better. So anybody who is still parading himself as one Nigerianist or one Nigerian is either deluded, is either mental, or is so gullible that they are like irredeemable. Those who are like irredeemably gullible and mad. And there are many like that. So I am not one of those that lie to myself. So you can always check, what is this guy saying? And honestly speaking, I feel like I hold the right to be wrong as well. I am not always going to be right. But you see, what I found out to be fact, there is no amount of political correctness that can change that. Here you get. So, and I do prepare my dear Templars as well to make them realize that lying to yourself will not make the lies become the truth. Do you understand? Trying to live in denial will never change the facts. Here you get. It won't change the facts. What will actually heal everybody is to tell ourselves the truth. It is very tough. It can be very tough for some people. But it's so easy. If you are a Templar on Mayegun's Diary Political, and I've told you that you must never, for any reason, like or respect any of these rogues, whether they are like the pulpit bandits or pastor preneurs, or because of your religion. You must never respect or like any of these rogues because they are like a sheikh, be imam, be sultan, be whatever nonsense they call themselves. You must never be swayed by them. You must never be swayed by tribe or ethnic, because from our findings, right, we've discovered that these Olori Brukus come from every tribe, every ethnic nationality in that contraption, from every religion. So they will take advantage of you. So you will be so gullible and so stupid to fall into their political correctness and say, because this person is Yoruba, or because this person is Igbo, or because that person is Hausa or Fulani, or is from my Igede, you'll be so stupid to believe that or fall for that. Or because he's a Christian, or because he's a Muslim. Nah. When we are dealing with these criminals, right, who are pretty much like a cross-playing, they do not have religion. They do not have any tribe. They do not have any ethnic, because their loyalty is to the system. As long as the system pays them, they will sacrifice any of you, all of us, including children, women, children. They will sacrifice every one of us for that feeding bottle. So you'll be so stupid to get carried away by tribe, ethnic, religion, and other nonsense they used to swindle you. On Mayegun's Diary Political, you come to that reality. So that's why you can't like me, with conditions. You have to like Mayegun unconditionally. Here you get. You have to like me. You have to respect me unconditionally. Once you don't attach condition, once you don't cherry pick, we can't be friends. And I've kind of like, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I've made my own peace with that. And that's why I keep telling people that you do not hold me anything other than just your ears to listen. And you don't have to agree with me. You can always be an independent thinker of your own. Everything these guys represent is like what the Christians call the weapons fashioned against us. So you get, there's no one that hates us more than the criminal politicians and their friends, their dirty, stinking elites in that contraption. All of their actions is to either make you and I impoverished or enslaved, and they will do it gleefully. Yeah, they have no regrets whatsoever. There's nobody that hates Nigeria more than these criminals. Go and check it out. Even though they may gaslight you, blackmail you, that you are not patriotic, there are no other unpatriotic elements in Nigeria than the criminal politicians, their friends in the elite circle, as well as their friends, the pulpit bandits you call your pastors, and the ones you call your imams and afas and all those ashiris, dedes, all those loribuku dedes. Their actions, they work together hand in hand. They will be destroying Nigeria. They will be asking you to pray for Nigeria. Then you will be thinking your prayer is not being answered. Or maybe God doesn't really like you. Sure, you get. But it has nothing to do with whether God likes you or not. It has a lot to do with you if you even actually like yourself. You can't pray for criminals whose only agenda is to destroy us by their actions. They want us to be very grateful too. Whenever they fix half a kilometer road or 1 kilometer road, they want you to kneel down and praise them. If they manage to put electricity in your clinic, right? They want you to kneel down and scream and say, thank you, God, and all that stuff. So they want you to see that you don't have any rights. Whatever they give to you, just see it as a privilege, which they can choose not to. And that is why we are all living in this mess that you're seeing today. And the rest of us who have the capacity decided to japa. And others are trapped in there. So on Mayegun's Diary Political, everyone you see on here is so organic enough that if you are truthful to yourself, you are going to stay. So thank you very much, M. King, for that. They took advantage of our people's gullibility enough that they have destroyed everything. They have never added, and they still have no plan of adding 1 single megawatt of electricity to Nigeria and businesses. And that is why you have seen a lot of businesses dying naturally. Because you have to be your own local government. After paying all the taxes, they have been double taxing, triple taxing, quadruple taxing, quintuple taxing you from everywhere. The taxes that most of them, like 70 to 80% of it, never even make it to the national treasury. Okay? They borrow against the unborn generation, so that they can leave them in perpetuity of indebtedness. They are going to 100 years to this time. Some of the unborn generation, if that contraption still exists, they will be born into poverty. The poverty that is orchestrated by this greedy few. They can't make the refineries work because they are the people who are importing the petroleum, paying themselves subsidies. They can't let the electricity work, the electricity of the country work. Because if you all kind of begin to have electricity, you become more productive. You will spend less time inside the churches or inside the Babalawo's shrine, or spend less time inside the mosque praying to Sky Daddy for things that can normally you can get if you have a working system. So they'll keep it that way. So they are the weapons fashioned against us. So if you are in any way have any feelings for them, my job is to see if I can liberate your mind. But I can't shave your head in your absence. Shave you get. So which means your mind must be here, and you must be honest to yourselves. You must not be part of those cherry picking, what to think of, who to talk about or who not to talk about. That's not what Mayegun's Diary Political stands for. I don't think for people. I can give you line of thoughts where you can sit down and be like, man, it's true. Okay, what is my role in all of this? have I been indirectly, right, promoting the criminals myself or the ideologies of these criminals? And then in return, have I not been hurting myself? Because every time I feel like not standing up to these guys, am I not in any way encouraging them and encouraging them to continue this evil? Am I not a direct victim myself? So the kind of line of thought that you sit down and you'll be thinking like, it's true. Oh, have I not been defending these criminals because they come from my tribe? Or because they come from my own ethnic nationality? Or is it because we share the same religion? Have I been honest in my deeds? That's what my Egun's Diary Political does. And I do it very well. I promise you. So M. King, thanks so much. Oh, that's just a eulogy for all of the Mayegun's Diary Political subscribers, especially on YouTube. Nigeria was importing 50% of needed needed PMS for local consumption 9 years ago. These guys came in. They have spent over $4 billion, $4 billion in refurbishing, reviving the supposed Nigeria refineries. Now, refineries that were working at 50% capacity. I don't know if some of you even remember anymore. Go and Google it. I'm asking you to search these things because they are always on the internet. They are there. I'm not doing this beer parlor gist with you. I want you to grab your phone when I say something. Just Google it and say, oh, my ego is a lie. Oh. And then, yeah. I can actually withdraw that and say, okay, maybe it's a lie. No, because it's not. Nigeria refineries, Warri, Port Harcourt, right? All these refineries were working at 50% capacity 9 years ago. But the person who was in charge then, Goodluck Ebere Jonathan, was called so many names: incompetency, a drunkard, very corrupt, and that, only for these murderous thieves to take over Nigeria and wreck everything. And then they want you to be grateful. If not for Boko Haram, that's what they said for 8 years. If not for Boko Haram, Nigeria would have collapsed. How? Nigeria is collapsing totally now. From the economy, there was like nearly $600 billion GDP economy. By the time Boko Haram was done, Nigeria economy was less than half of that, which is 258 billion. Do you know what that means? A lot of you lost half of your whatever you probably should have earned in 8 years of Boko Haram. And that you can tell on your currency, the Naira. And the businesses that couldn't cope, that left Nigeria. The, what do you call it? The cost of living crisis. But that was just a child's play to what Tinubu will bring about within 17, 18 months. It took Boko Haram and his gang to destroy Nigeria by half. 8 years to do that. But from where Boko Haram stopped, Tinubu took charge within 18 months. 18 months or 1 year, 1.5 years, so they have destroyed Nigeria beyond what you can imagine. And they are telling you that if not for Tinubu that took decision, is taking this. Which decision? What decision? Over $4 billion. Do you know how much they spent on the subsidy during that period? Oh, we're going to need a bigger calculator. Nigeria was paying 700 billion naira a year on subsidy, and you were buying a liter of petroleum for 87 naira. Have you forgotten? 87 naira. 8 years after, it took Bokwari 8 years to move a liter of petroleum from 87 naira to 187. It was actually officially 167 naira, 165 naira or so. But there were places where it was being sold for 187 naira per liter. It only took Tifnumbu between May 2023 to October 2024. That's like less than, that's about 17 months to move a liter of petroleum from 187 naira to 1,500 naira per liter. Yeah, I know in Lagos you still buy it for 1,100, 1,200. Bokwari was paying as much as 5 trillion naira on subsidy a year. They were cashing out big time. On one hand, they were claiming to be reviving the refineries, over $4 billion. But they were paying themselves so much money that when Tifnubu came and told you that subsidy was gone, lied to you. I keep reminding you, lied to you. Only to change it from a subsidy to dollar subsidy, petrol subsidy to dollar subsidy. Now Nigeria paying nearly 1 trillion naira. 1 trillion naira every month. It was, I mean, Tifnubu will spend 12 trillion naira on paying dollar subsidy. Took your naira from 410 naira official to a dollar to 1,750 naira to a dollar official. So more businesses have died. Your national grid continued to collapse. More businesses can't even afford to fuel their generator anymore because, well, you are your own local government, like I said. This is their economy. But they want you to be grateful. You need to be grateful. If not for Tifnubu, things would have gone worse than this. That's what they are saying to you. It took a decision that nobody could take. What decision? By making a pronouncement that is so fraudulent that they don't even care about the lives that are being lost in the process. But you are still alive, and you can read some of those paid arc economic hitmen, they call them, that continue to make you believe that, oh, it could have been worse. Oh, it's worse already. It's done for already. There is no single investment. Again, you see, when they talk about reforms, part of what I, as a person, would love to see when somebody says they are reforming, for example, is that, or in fact, hang on, I wanted to say you would have taken a look at the investments in critical sectors. Like when, do you know that Tifnubu has borrowed more than, let me give you the ones I know now, okay? The World Bank, within 18 months, they've already mobilized over $4 billion for him. The Afrexim Bank, they've mobilized $3.3 billion for him. IMF, they've mobilized over 2 billion. I'm using over here because I can't give you the round figure because nobody knows all this. They've not disclosed all of them except the snippet that gets leaked, right? So if you had 3.3 billion, 4.8 billion, that itself is, hang on, 4.8 plus 3.3. That itself is like 8.1 billion. Now, 8.1 billion plus 2 billion, that's 10 billion. The Central Bank of Nigeria has printed over 20 trillion naira for Tifnubu. Are you aware of that? I'll keep reminding you, and they can possibly continue to deny it. And then you will come back here later once it becomes a breaking news. Mayogu has been saying these things so for, Anyway, over 20 trillion. That is why In October, this past October, Tinubu broadcasted and lied to the gullible Nigerians that the 27.5 trillion naira printed by Bukwari. Do you know that the Bukwari printed 27.5 trillion? If you mix that with the exchange rate of that time, that is over $50 billion, $63.4 billion. That's how much that was in total. Yeah, go and check it. And there is nobody, I keep asking, not a single person is able to tell us what they use the money for. The central bank by law is allowed to lend 5% of the national budget to the federal government. In Nigeria, it is the law that if you write a budget and you have a deficit means you write a budget of 1,000 naira and you only have 800 naira, or you only have 900 naira, which means you are short of 100 naira. The central bank, by law, is allowed to borrow you 50 naira, 5% of that money. So you get now 5% of it. That's the law. Bukwari changed the law. They amended it that the central bank could give them 10%. Even at that, Bukwari was collecting over, from Emefiole, was collecting over 2,000%. Not 200, not 500%, over 2,000% of their budget. So by the time they were done, Bukwari has collected 27.5 trillion naira printed by Emefiole and handed to him. And nobody could say this is what they use it for. Oh, the money was used to finish the construction of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Oh, the money was used to improve electricity generation and distribution. Oh, the money was used for local electrification projects. Oh, the money was used to complete the about 20 medical facilities across Nigeria. Nothing. Nobody can say this is what they used the money for. $50 billion. I'm sorry, $63.4 billion. That's not among all the other debts where they borrow and borrow. That was in 8 years. When it came to Tifnumbu, within a year alone, Oduduwa Emefiole, Adobe has printed over 20 trillion naira for Tifnumbu. Nobody knows what he's using it for. So Tifnumbu now came out and said he has paid off the 27.5 trillion naira printed by Bukwari. How? How did you pay that off? Meanwhile, what they did was just to doctor the book. Okay? They now turn it into, they have a name for it. So it's only GPT, only Rosso. So they turned it into, they have this economic name for it. Something, I explained that what they meant by what they turned it into. That it is a debt that will now be repaid back in 40 years' time. So if you had 40 years to Tifnumbu's age, is he going to still be alive? You converted Bukwari's debt to 40 years repayment so that you can add your own within a year. You have already taken over 80% of what Bukwari got in 8 years. Nobody knows what they are using it for. And also, there is nobody, none of you here can tell me how much as the NNPC that is selling Nigeria crude oil, according to them, Nigeria is currently producing 1.3 million barrels of crude oil every day. That 1.3 million barrel of crude oil Now only 40% Nigeria will collect from it, royalty. The rest goes to the companies, the oil companies that are extracting it. Nigeria cannot even extract our own crude oil. For 60 years, since Nigeria found their crude oil in commercial quantity, Nigeria criminals have not invested in the capacity to extract the crude oil themselves. They only sell oil blocks to, their concubines themselves, right? Allocate, and those ones will now go and look for oil companies that can extract, invest. So they are giving crude oil, they are giving oil blocks. Nigeria, that cannot manage or maintain their own refinery to refine their own crude oil. Nigeria has no single machine to pump their own crude oil for 60 years. So these people, they are more interested and comfortable collecting royalty. Let other people extract it. So yeah, give us 40%. I'm not sure it's even up to 40% anymore. Do you know that? Nigeria is considered oil-producing countries. Oil-producing country among oil-producing countries. So among all the oil-producing countries in the world, it is only in Nigeria that they are not. You have NNPC, but what they do there is to award contracts, allocate oil blocks, and collect, royalty on them. So I'm asking you, the oil companies are not remitting the money to NNPC. How much do you think the NNPC Nigeria has remitted or is remitting every month? And they have remitted since Tifnubu came to force himself on you. How much? Do you have a clue? You are supposed to be able to have that because the money is meant to be shared by the three arms of government, Abi. Three arms, Abi, three organs of, I don't know. Do you know? This is how shady, how dubious, and how criminal the entire thing is. It is stinkingly corrupt. And everybody that gets their own chance to have a shot at it, just take care of yourself and talk less. So NNPC is not remitting crude oil money. Central Bank is printing money to give to Tifnubu to spend. And then they go about borrowing so that the rest of you can go sorrowing. Ways and means. They are breaking their own law. They've broken the law. Bukwari broke the law. Broke them to pieces. Pieces the whatever law. From 10% supposed ways and means that were supposed to be given to 20,000 to 2,000 Tifnubu's budget for 2024 is somewhere around 28 trillion naira. Now, 28 trillion, if you have 10% of 28 trillion, that should be 2.8 trillion. That's the most the central bank should print as ways and means to give to Tifnubu, but they've printed over 20 trillion naira for him. That is why, after spending over $4 billion on your refineries, they still couldn't refine a teaspoonful of crude oil from any of them. So NNPC is importing fuel. Other oil marketers, importers, they call them, they're also importing fuel. Matrix Petroleum Service Limited, A.A Rano, and then another one, AYM something, Petroleum Limited. They are those who are importing fuel into Nigeria. Before now, the reason why they had to import is because Nigeria was not refining. Then Dangote refinery came on. They were supposed to stop importing. Because to import fuel to Nigeria, you need dollar, not naira. And the central bank must produce the dollars, must give you the dollars. Or you have to find another means of getting dollars. So you now have a refinery in your country that has the capacity of refining over 300,000 barrels of crude oil every day. that should automatically what? Stop the pressure on the dollars. I mean, normally. But rather, they started a new campaign against him because it is cheaper to import, very cheap to import petroleum to Nigeria than to go to Dangote refinery and buy it. So when I told you that the real enemies of Nigeria are the criminals, the unpatriotic criminals that you called your politicians, their elite and their friends and all that. Now, this is something that is very much open, even though Dangote himself is one of them. But I am now kind of talking as like a layman now, like, come on, if they explain Nigeria to you, and you are not like mad after that, they know explaining well. Made sense then to keep milking you, okay? Stealing the forex as much as the kitchen you get. Then you have a refinery that is in Nigeria now. That should automatically make it easier if they cared about Nigeria, if they actually care for you. But they don't give a damn. Dangote had to go to court. He asked the court to stop them from. He said court should cancel their licenses. Why do you have to go to court, Dangote? I thought Kolu ordered them to start buying from you. So the more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see.
It is unbelievable. So, this morning, the oil marketers asked the Federal High Court to throw out the case of Dangote, asking them to stop importing fuel. How dare you? The problem is not the importation of fuel. The juicy part is the fact that it is the easiest way of collecting forex subsidy. The one they told you that is gone. Subsidy is gone. But it's not. It is now called the dollar subsidy. Dollar where Nigeria don't get to. NNPC was supposed to be providing the dollars from the sale of crude oil. At the sale of crude oil, at the no sale of crude oil, shishi no day. So where are they getting the dollars from? I probably just don't have a clue myself. Normal. They were supposed to give Dangote crude oil to start with, so that the expensive petrol or whatever can be subsidized without giving him dollars. And Dangote can go and sell to other nations in Africa in dollars. When it comes to you, if they care for you, I've said this before, it would have ordinarily be the easiest deal. So today, they went to court to ask the court to throw out whatever Dangote was saying. Because according to them, importing fuel is cheaper than buying from Dangote. So why then did Dangote build refinery? Maybe you could just sell them. Or I don't know. Listen to this guy.
Thank you very much. Let me clarify something to the audience, particularly the Nigerian audience and consumers. Dangote refinery petrol pricing is not more expensive than the imported petrol. It's not. We seem at times to be carried away by some of these narratives that are just being fed into the space, into the market space. The local refinery operated by Dangote, if you check the price, is below 1,000 naira per liter. It's below 1,000 naira per liter. If you check the international landing price, even if it is about the same price, you will see because of all the add-on costs and the demurrage and all the headaches in Apapa, you will see that the price will be a little bit still higher than Dangote's price. And the quality of what is being imported, because this is part of the problem. What is the quality of the product being imported and what is the price? What is the quality of the petrol produced by Dangote refinery and the price they are talking about? So I am not convinced, and I don't want Nigerians to be swayed because this lingering unnecessary distraction, I use the word unnecessary distraction. It is time, Mr. President, intervene and midwife this matter and resolve it because it's a big distraction. The attention of the highest decision-making authority in this country should be on how to get this country more productive, more safe to grow food to feed our people, more safe to produce more crude oil, more safe to produce more gas for export, so that we can earn more money to sustain this teeming population that is becoming a big burden and a big cancer for this country. So this distraction we have gotten ourselves entrapped in for the last 6 months is unnecessary. And it is time, Mr. President, weigh in and resolve this matter. This pricing issue is unnecessary. Dangote refinery petrol is not more expensive. Ipman are spoiled children. It is time we remove this feeding button. This feeding bottle must be removed from their mouth. They are spoiled children. So it's time we face the reality. I use the word spoiled children because Ipman does nothing more than just to take petrol from NNPC and resell, or whoever NNPC asks them to go to resell. So over the years, their investment is tied to NNPC behavior. If NNPC behave well, they make money. If NNPC does not behave well, they lose money. Ipman does not own refinery. They just own depot and petrol station across the country. And their supply is heavily dependent on NNPC. Their pricing mechanism is heavily dependent on NNPC. So how can you run an economy like that? It's never done for a country of this population with this huge crude oil reserve and gas. So I think it's time we just get on and move on and get out of this.
You know, one thing that is quite hilarious about Nigerians who share their opinions on the state of the country. I'm talking about the situation. When people want to talk about the insecurity, they will be like, Mr. President needs to intervene. When they want to talk about the economy, the president needs to do something and he needs to intervene in all of this. That is hilarious. The head of the cabal, the head of the mafia in Nigeria has always been what? The president and his men. Tinubu is at their meetings, publicized meetings with Dangote severally. In the last 6 months alone, Tinubu has given about 5 different directives. All of the directives are in favor of Dangote, at least in the media. He ordered them to give him crude oil. That never happened. He ordered the marketers to go and buy from Dangote. That is not happening. He ordered NNPC to stop importing fuel and buy from Dangote. That's not happening. When everybody always talk again and say, it needs to intervene. Intervene what? Are you that daft? He is the one behind the whole mess. 100% he is himself and his men. Wale Idun has granted, they even went to Dangote refinery to celebrate the loading of tankers for petroleum there. Tankers. Only for the tankers never to get to their destination for weeks. He's the one behind the whole thing. Such a rigged system that, and it is so kind of so hard to be on Dangote's side as well, because he himself has enjoyed this monopolistic life for decades. Dangote has never used his advantage, his business advantage, which the system has given to him. He has never used it to benefit Nigeria and Nigerians, ever. Is a guy who always floats the idea of believing in Nigeria, investing in Nigeria, that he has been against importation. Here you get the majority of the businessmen in Nigeria, they just want to import and import. They do not want to produce. But he, Dangote, has been the one who always want to produce in Nigeria and employ people, make Nigeria productive. But that is not true as well. It's not true. Well, it's not 100% true. When Bokwari banned the importation of rice, Dangote was importing rice, rebagging the rice, and reselling it in Nigeria. Everyone else, if they burn you well, go import rice. You just lost your business. He enjoyed that. There are so many things that were banned. People were banned from importing them to Nigeria. Dangote no get farm. He no get anything that is growing in Nigeria. But he's into food production so much that he import majority of them, rebag them in his name, and then resell them in Nigeria. He's enjoyed that a lot. See, Dangote was given free access to some of the limestone deposits across Nigeria. But Nigerians never enjoyed cheap cement, ever. Although he blames that on the cost of production. There's nothing that Nigeria enjoys from Dangote per se. Nothing. So it's so hard to be on his side. But you see, this particular refinery of a thing, it is not just Dangote's money. There is Nigeria money in there. Even though he has denied that, he reduced the Nigeria supposed money in that place. He reduced it to 7%, and so many other things that the shady about is the refinery. But the thing is that he has a refinery that is 50% working. And that 50% is enough to help crash the cost of living in Nigeria, the high cost of living in Nigeria. That is a fact. So now they feel like since Dangote, since Stephen is the press idiot, and it is time for some other people to become very rich too, not just him, Dangote. So they could sabotage him. He will just, if they are saying that he just want to enjoy the monopoly, it's like people are kind of like, you know, they've suffered enough in the hand of Dangote in so many things. And to them, anything where Dangote gets interest in, it will monopolize it. In fairness, right? In fairness, you will say, let there be competition. Because you see, when you remove subsidy, it simply means that everyone can go and source for the petroleum product. Go and source for the product wherever you like and sell it if people will buy it from you. So why can't Dangote just wake up tomorrow? Okay, I think it doesn't really have the cabal thing. It doesn't have its own petrol stations. But he's a rich guy. He could buy all these petrol stations now. Here you get. Now that things are very hard and tough, and they're asking everybody to go and do CNG. If he's a billionaire like Elon Musk, just buy some of these petrol stations and begin to sell a liter of petroleum for 500 naira per liter. Now, when they import, NNPC and all of them, they will be the one to lose. Even though NNPC will lose, now Nigeria they lose. NNPC never declare profits for 60 years that you've had NNPC. Aramco, Saudi oil, Aramco oil in Saudi, Gazprom, Russia, is it Gazprom or Gazprom or something? The Russian national oil. They are all declaring profits in billions of dollars. NNPC know they declare profits because it's filled with corruption. So if they make money, you no go know. If they lose money, you no go know, because in Nigeria they bear the brunt. They can even go about and borrow money in the name of Nigeria. The NNPC won't pay it. It will be added to the Nigerian debt. But still, go on and sell the products. I mean, Dangote can make just 50 kobo on each liter. It doesn't have to make the current arrangement, the current pricing and all of that right now. The cost of production of a barrel of crude oil. Somebody did the math. I'm not sure if they are really accurate. Okay, what I figured out is that with the cost of producing refining a barrel of crude oil and how much Dangote is selling a liter, if you plus or minus it, right, Dangote is actually making 118 naira per liter profit for saying that he is selling his own petroleum at 990 naira per liter to marketers. So that means before the fuel gets to the marketers themselves, Dangote is making 118 naira on each liter of petroleum. You can make 50 kobo. You still make a lot of money. Somebody said that, and others are like, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. Shut up your goddamn mouth, man. It is simple. It's just because you have a place where these criminals are all criminals enough that they worship money so much that they do not understand. Americans, right? Where you have all these capitalists, they can tell you that 1 cent on a dollar or 2 cents on a dollar is okay for them. And then they will still be billionaires because the market is so big, it's so huge, that by the time you begin to roll out your product, roll it out, you'll still be a billionaire in dollars. But they don't want that. They want something that Dangote want to make over 100 naira on each liter of petroleum that it sells to. Then the marketers will also have their own. They call the logistics and all of those things they will list, right? And then you will pay for it. You, the end users. I mean, how could anybody say that imported fuel is cheaper than the locally refined one? It doesn't make any sense in true essence of it. It doesn't make any sense. But because that's the narrative they push out there to justify why they won't buy from him. If they won't buy from you, you are a billionaire. If you are truly a billionaire, you could go out there and just say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to buy all the refinery, all the petrol stations. Like a franchise. Buy all of them or buy half of them. And then begin to supply them with your products. Within the space of 6 months, you will perfect a chain of supply that everybody can say Dangote oil is 600 naira per liter. NNPC 1,015 naira, 1,017 naira. Which one would you buy? Adulterated product, adulterated imported product, or a locally refined beautiful one that is cheap? So they are now pushing here and there. Every day there is keeping that is supposed 500 million liters in a tank somewhere. He's losing money, but he's crying. And these ones are now they are now in court, asking the court to throw out his case, because he went to court to say the court should revoke their licenses so that they can't import anymore. There was not just a few days ago that Wale Edu said Tifnumbu had a meeting and he ordered everybody to go and buy from him. What is now this all hula balu? I'm going to replay that video. Wale Edu.
We have today had a session with His Excellency, Mr. President, to review the implementation so far of his bold initiative, endorsed fully by the Federal Executive Council, of selling crude to local refiners who then sell in Naira, who then sell their products in Naira to the Nigerian public. This initiative, which was initiated by Mr. President, was made possible also by the huge investment, the courageous and bold investment also of Dangote Group in a local refinery of 650,000 barrels per day refining capacity. To date, the implementation committee and the subcommittee have worked assiduously with all stakeholders, the regulators, NMDPRA, NUPRC, NIMASA, as well as MPA, NNPC, the Navy, and a host of other stakeholders to ensure that this important initiative is implemented, and it is being implemented as we speak. And what it has made possible is that now we have, and what made it most possible is that now we have market pricing of petroleum products. And relatedly, we have market pricing of foreign exchange. That has set the economy on the path to industrialization, because with private sector refining of crude oil, we now have raw materials, not just for agriculture, but for industry, for chemicals, for paints, for building materials, for textiles. And of course, this is Mr. President's strategy and his policy of making conditions ripe for the private sector to invest, create jobs, and grow the economy. Likewise, the market pricing of foreign exchange, the market pricing of petroleum products has also paved the way for NNPC to restore its balance sheet, restore its financial fortunes, and of course, to give the Federation, federal, state, and local governments more funding in order to allow them to meet their obligations, salary payments to workers, social services to the population generally, and of course, key infrastructure development. The economy has been set well and truly on a path, although it's early steps and there is much to be done. But we can now see a clear path to industrial development for modernization of the Nigerian economy, because the key prices are right and it is encouraging private sector investment. On that note, I believe that what happened in the meeting was that all committed to ensuring that this all-important effort is sustained, and that whatever the teething problems, whatever the initial obstacles to successful implementation of local sale in Naira of crude petroleum to domestic refiners, and the correlating sale of petroleum products in Naira is fully achieved. The determination starts right from the very top. From Mr. President downwards, there is a commitment to make this work. We had Afri-Exim Bank as part of the meeting, and Afri-Exim Bank is one of the financial institutions that will assist and actually be an intermediary to ensure that the parties, the seller of the crude, the buyer of the crude, are able to complete their transactions no matter the fact that the foreign exchange market is volatile and moves all the time. We have in the financial advisor and the financial intermediary a stabilizing factor that will help us to achieve the objective of ramping up stick production of refined products and the sale of those products into the Nigerian economy.
Nuisance lele.
I'm so sorry, right? Hey, to do your nothing, right? Could you make any sense of that? The last time I played the video, I asked the same question. Could anybody really make any sense of what the jargons he just said there? Of the local refineries include in Naira, of the local refiners to the other products to improve production, to sell in Naira of the crude oil to local refiners and ensure that they are refined. God damn it, man. Because it's all jargons, man. Jargons. Tifnumbu has ordered, Tifnumbu has ordered, where the order now? Where is the order? Why? Is it that the people that Tifnumbu told to go and buy from Dangote, they are not buying from him because they said it is too expensive? Man, it's crazy, man. Then they say, ti ri nkan kan, ti ri nkan kan, ti ri nkan kan. Ariwo le ri, ti ri nkan kan, ti ri nkan kan, ti ri nkan kan. You know? As for Dangote, your battle, just the weird schedule. If you want, I mean, if I be Dangote, in this case, right, I will just stop all this fight with them. Since he said he's been selling to ships as well, right? Like if you bring your ship, and Dangote want to sell you his products, it is cheaper, 750 naira or 760 naira per liter. Alaye, just sell your stuff to the ships and let them bring the product from abroad and continue to sell at 1,100, 1,200, 1,500 in some places to people there. Abi now, except if that is not totally true. You know? Man, I am not an economist, so sure you get, and I know get refinery. But as a layman, I do have an idea, and there are two ideas. Tifnumbu wants to control, is already in control of how they want to redirect the wealth. And you, Dangote, is not part of the plan. You've enjoyed it for so long that you'll be still full of it so much now. And since you are not a legit businessman, like Elon Musk, look at what Elon Musk did with Donald Trump. In America, American government provided loan for big businesses like that. And Elon Musk also got some billions of dollars from American government, treasury. And then he paid back all his debts on Tesla and all this. He paid back all of that loan. Then he was bold enough to go all out, to stick his neck out, right? For a political opponent to the government in power. It was a gamble. But the likes of Dangote, quota system billionaires, who only thrive in the, what do you call it, in the political patronage, okay, of the dubious criminals in power, who knows that all they have to do is to pull a plug. Once they pull a plug, about Dangote, you don't go hear about them again. You will only be reading about him. And that's why you see all those rich men in Nigeria, all those your rich uncles. They didn't make their money legitimately. They made their money because they are able to make a phone call. A phone call that made them got away with a lot of things that could have put them in jail as well. They got away. And they can't stand, they can't stand against the establishment. They can't stand against the system. They can only do it in a treacherous way, hidden, okay? If not, Dangote is supposed to be the richest black man, Abi. He alone is capable of bending the hand of those who are like the other cockroaches, milking the system. If his money is also clean, okay, it will be able to bend. And it could save all of you. Honestly, it could save all of you from this. It could break the chain of corruption in that place. But his own money is not clean. And if he tried it, all they have to do is just pull the plug. And then you realize that Dangote, a quota system billionaire, is not what you think he is, or it's not what he says he is. I mean, if I am a billionaire, real clean billionaire, I will just crash the entire markets, Abi. Send them into this serious panic mode. Expose them in such a way that the rest of you can know that, well, the system is a weapon fashioned against you. A billionaire. You know what, guys? We are going to go on an aggressive takeover. The next 6 months, I want to buy 60% of all the oil refineries, oil dispensary stations, filling stations in Nigeria. Anyone that is already folding up in the local area, rural area, in the cities everywhere, I want to take over them. And I need you to go out and begin to acquire them, as many as possible. And within 6 months, it probably can acquire more than 100,000 filling stations across Nigeria. Refurbish them, give them this modern, like fancy, expand some of them if you have to. Then begin to supply your product into them. Diesel, petrol, and all of that. Cut down what you expected to gain from all of this. Just bypass all these marketers themselves and see how many of you will be trooping there. And before you know it, it's either it will force the hand of these NNPC criminals, or they will try to wield the huge armor on him, and guess what? He will have all of you on his side. He can single-handedly trigger the revolution that will force the like of Tinubu and gang. And once they break the corruption of that oil sector, there's likelihood that so many others will follow suit. If I be that kind of billionaire, here you get. But somebody said I can't, because I said it myself. I'm just saying that in a scenario where his money is clean, but his money is not. It's not. He is as greedy as the criminal politicians that he has been giving money to secretly, so as for them to gain power, have access to power, so that they can protect his business. That's one thing somebody said about the Nigerian elites, that they will learn. A lot of them believes that following Tinubu, that whatever he does, or whatever he sort of tries to do to you, they are going to be immune from it. It won't affect them. Tinubu is publicly campaigning that people should go and join CNG, go and buy CNG, go and convert to CNG. Where Dangote get refinery? I know that one is already falling apart on the side though, but we'll come to that. But if your money is clean and you are not a quota system billionaire, if I happen to be that kind of a billionaire, I can break the entire market, suspend profits. Yeah, suspend profits. Just, you know what? Or he's likely going to get some of other monopoly he enjoys revoked. And they will pull the plug on him. The privilege of standing as a guarantor for him wherever he's taking different kind of loans all over the world, that's sort of, that could be the, you know, the deal breaker for him. Like, or better still, stop trying to sell to Nigerian markets if the whole arrangement is to get you out of the business. Why not? Why not just then just face other African countries and stop talking about Nigeria? Just tell them to come and buy from you, even though that too, you are going to need the support of the government as well. Especially if you are a real target for Tinubu and his gang, there is no way out of it. But suspend profits. If you are a real, true billionaire, not a quota system billionaire, a political billionaire, tell me what I said is not possible. You tell me. Now, I'm not saying like for Dangote, I'm just saying that if he is not a corrupt establishment billionaire, if his money is actually clean, tell me what I said is not possible. Do you think that's not possible? It is 100% possible. Is at the refinery already? Here you get. It's got a debt to pay, fine. But it's got the refinery already. Stop asking. Initially, he said NNPC will determine how much he's going to sell. Remember, he said that. And he won't tell us how much he was going to sell it until they exposed him and said his product is expensive. He now came out and said, well, I'm selling it for 990 naira. 990 naira, Dangote, you did mad. So if you sell it to marketers for 990 naira, how much do you think they will sell it to Nigerians if they finally, lift the product to different parts of Nigeria? It won't be less than 1,000 to 1,500 naira. So that's it. So what then is your argument? If somebody says they want the import to, they can sell for 1,200, 1,300, 1,100. So what's your argument? That they should come and buy your own. Oh, my argument is that the one they are importing is adulterated. You said so. They have been importing adulterated, dangerous product into Nigeria, and they have been making the blood money all this while. So what are you offering in exchange for that? Expensive, clean one, and that shit-hole contraption. That is not a clean argument in this case. You have to give more. You still want to make so much money, then you are probably not a real businessman or a real billionaire. A real billionaire will know that you are a billionaire, right? You will cut your cost in this case and break the entire market and watch how the people will be on your side. We have seen billionaires who lost half of their money. Then they regain it back. So if you are a true genuine businessman, a genuine billionaire, not a quota system billionaire, a political billionaire, come on. You could break the entire market and say, you know what, guys? I'm just saying. But it may never happen. So, Wale Edun once told us, I'm supposed to go and look for the video as well. It's a video where Wale Edun said they have given 500,000 students over 90 billion student loan. Africa Wahala. Do you remember that day? When Wale Edun said they gave 500. I'm going to go and look for the video. I don't know why I always leave all this behind instead of adding them from the onset. Here you get. So I'm going to go look for it. Here is the latest data. I don't know if this data is real, but now NELF, the body that is giving out student loan, they claim that they have shared hang in there for me for a second, okay? They have shared 11 billion. Wale Idunoniro said they have given Nigerians 25,000 naira to 25 million Nigerians. And they have also given 500,000 students over 90 billion naira student loan. Do you remember that? Don't worry, you don't rush. I'll bring you the evidence in a minute. It's loading. And I remember saying that this guy does a drop figure. Like he was just dropping kind of figure. Like it doesn't Nigeria get number problem. Remember that time? So when I saw these guys yesterday, NELF, that claims that 98 institutions in Nigeria and 105,000 students have been given 11 billion naira. I just went back to that video of Wale Idun. Okay, let me play the video for you again. You remember I told you that he was lying? Now we don't know who is lying. She and NELF they lie. Abi Wale Idun.
And there is going to be released today details by the federal government through the Ministry of Finance and of course in conjunction with the central bank, a initiative, a program starting today, 31st of October, and lasting 9 months that will allow people to bring in cash that is outside the banking system. So therefore, it is unsafe, it is unsecure, and it is outside of legal limits. They will be allowed without any, they will allowed forbearance to bring those funds, dollars, to bring dollars cash. Let me emphasize once again, it is to bring dollars that they are holding outside the system to be able to bring them in and credit it to their bank accounts. And as long as it is not proceeds of crime, illicit money, there will be no taxes, there will be no penalty, there will be no taxes, there will be no questions. They just meet the normal know your customer criteria of banks, and they are free, and they have an opportunity to bring in those funds, make them safe, make them secure, and make them available through normal economic activity. And of course, we know, and I reported, that in terms of the direct benefit and direct help to the general public, of course, there was wage award at first, now there's the new minimum wage. There is direct transfers to the people on the social register that has been put together by all levels of government and is being verified. And so people are paid after they are being uniquely identified biometrically, and they are paid digitally through a bank account or mobile wallet. And those payments have been rolled out. We have reached 5 million households, 25 million Nigerians, and first and second payments are being made. And that process of having a robust social register where you can reach people directly and help them with payments that allow them to now choose what their priority is and go and then deal with that priority is something that will be ongoing. A society always needs to help its poorest and its most vulnerable, no matter, because relatively you're always going to have people who need help. the consumer credit scheme to allow workers to be able to pay for things over time, to be able to afford various goods, including CNG kits, to convert their cars to a cheaper form of fuel. In the last 11 days, or in the last 5 days, I should say, 11,000 beneficiaries have received 3.5 billion naira. So that's an ongoing rollout of consumer credit to help people to make things more affordable to the worker. Of course, the student loan scheme has reached over 500,000 students, and it has disbursed over 90 billion naira. And that is to the students for their fees, to the institutions for the students' fees directly, and then to the students for their upkeep. So, and it's interest-free loan. So that, of course, is providing access to higher education to so many who otherwise would not afford it. And as I mentioned earlier, the CNG initiative to provide a cheaper source of fuel for fueling mass transit and even personal vehicles is ongoing. In addition to that, we all know that food is critical, and we all know about the increased cost of food at this particular time. And it's a question of affordability and availability, and it's all about supply. So there are two ways that that is being confronted. First of all, we do have a short-term program for millers to bring in raw materials.
These are the kind of people we are dealing with. It's supposed to be an elderly man, lying heads, useless old men, useless old women, following a druggie, bunch of graduates, 419ers. The people that will also ask you to respect them. You need to respect us, the elders. How can you respect liars? People who are not straightforward, who are like, once they open their mouth like this, na garbage. See, na nonsense, they come out of the mouth. And you are seated there, you're like, what the hell is this man talking about? Like, what are you doing? So, if you're a student and they give you money, look, we know 500,000 students, 500,000. They also gave 25,000 naira to 25 million households. That is 625 billion naira. And then these ones came out. I remember that day and I said, but the guy who went on TV then said they've shared 10 billion now. How come this whole thing don't turn to another? I said, well, so now they said they've shared 11 billion, 105,000 students. All of them are maybe students, we don't collect money. You better come out. 98 institutions. See? Yeah? They are unbelievable. And I remember saying that if all these things were actually really true, they will be impactful, a lot of impact. You know, they will make a lot of impact on the people. No joke. So I saw them now defending their CNG, CNG that. Because Malaysia says they are now phasing out all this their CNG project in Malaysia for public safety reason. Because according to them, they would rather let their people, drive a CNG-enabled vehicles than all this conversion. Then I have seen one of Petit Numbu's dogs on social media. That one that was crying because they didn't make him, Shegun, Adeshegun, Dio Shegun or something like that. I mean, that's his name, I think. That idiot is on Twitter right now defending this story. that what they are saying, what Malaysia is saying is that they want to phase out the vehicles that are converted to CNG because they are already nearing the end of their lifespan. But have you seen somebody who just bought a brand new vehicle in Nigeria and then decided to go and change it to CNG, gas? How many new vehicles do you have even have in Nigeria? The people that are buying the latest cars in Nigeria, brand new cars in Nigeria, they are politicians. And then maybe your elite. The rest of you, no be a local they buy. No be tokumbo na they buy. Are those downfall, what do you call it? Those Kurupe and all of them, are they brand new that you are converting them to CNG? Are the vehicles you are converting to CNG, they ask you to convert to CNG in Nigeria, are they not used vehicles? Is that not the concern, the public safety concern? Malaysia said that some of they are phasing out their CNG conversion because the cars have become old and they were petrol, diesel before. So they have become like dangerous and they are exploding like anything. So, which means, for example, let's say you have a car and this car happened to be 20 years old. And they say, you know what? You can't drive them anymore because you've converted them to CNG anyway. So they've reached the last date of their... Meanwhile, in Nigeria, you are still driving 20 years old car, 30 years old. Year 20, you will see 2005 car. Year 2000 car. Because they've already used it in Europe, all over the place before they bring them to Nigeria anyway. So is that not the health, public safety, supposedly public safety awareness also? Now, where you see some of these, some of your vehicles in Nigeria are supposed to be off-road, by the way, like you shouldn't even be driving them anymore. But wait till you now go drive. If they say, okay, take all these ones off-road. When you see the cars they are using for transportation in Nigeria, they are not supposed to be on the road. And they constantly convert them to CNG, put gas in the trunk. Nobody cares about your safety, but you should care about your safety. You should care about your own safety. You know? But they are defending it. They said it is not like Nigeria, what Malaysia is doing. Have you been to Malaysia? But you need to see Malaysia. I've not been to Malaysia myself, okay? At least you can see Malaysia on your phone and see what the kind of cars on their streets and compare that to the ones you have in Nigeria. See who is supposed to be facing it out. When these politicians are not converting their own latest cars to CNG, they're asking you to do the same. I wish you what you wish yourselves. So, and here is one useless elder who is who thinks he's talking to probably sane people when he's probably talking to himself in his own lunacy. 10 years ago, Donyo Kwigbe called Jonathan Christ like that. Jonathan was like a Jesus Christ. Today, Donyo Kwigbe is doing the same thing and saying that Tifnumbu is Jesus. It's not even saying that Tifnumbu is like Jesus. It's Tifnumbu is Jesus Christ that has come to save Nigeria. Because everybody will give this useless man food is a Jesus Christ to him.
I'm about to say, in this country, we have an agreement. North will do 8 years, South will do 8 years. Buhari did not do well. You know, we were not crazy. We did not fight. We did not raise anything. He did his 8 years. Tinubu is doing well, he's going to do his 8 years. If God spares his life and he wants to do so,
If Nigerians decide so,
Nigerians will decide so because
how are you
well.
sure? You are,
I am sure.
You are not the totality of the Nigerian population, Dr. Okupe.
Nigerians
Can you speak for the over 200 million Nigerian people?
Nigerians are reasonable, sensible people, not demanding too much from their leaders. If Bola Tinubu gives us light in 2027, if Bola Tinubu resolves this fuel crisis and this food crisis between now and that time, you will see people will go on the street and say, "Is Bola or nobody?"
I'm very sure that you're very good friends on social media, whom you always engage with, the tirade and all of that we see. They will come after you. And when they do, you know what they at some, there was a very viral statement. They coined one word, they said T-pain. That was what they...
T-pain. And when this useless man, right, this very sick ex-convict, will respond, he said, T-pain means temporary pain. This lady was arrested yesterday. And I remember telling you about it, right? In Sokoto. She's arrested for embarrassing the governor. That's her offense. Embarrassing the governor. Meanwhile, in Sokoto State, right now, a new terrorist group, a very deadly one, has now emerged. They are called Lakurawa, Lakurawa, Lakurebe. The Lakurawa terrorist group are reported to be deadlier than Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Fulani terrorists combined. This Lakurawa, Lakurawa terrorists, they go straight into people's homes, kidnap women, children, rape them. They want Sharia all over Nigeria because according to them, their religion mandates them to rape, defile, and even kill anybody they suspect to be an infidel. Sokoto State is supposed to be the caliphate of Uthman Dan Fodio, whose great-grandson is the current Sultan of Sokoto, the leader of Muslims in Nigeria. Do you know that? Don't deny it. Sultan, the grandson of terrorist Fodio, is the leader, supreme spiritual leader of all Muslims in Nigeria. Yes. And in that place, a terror group has emerged who want Sharia all over Nigeria, or everybody go die. They go kill all of us. We either accept it or we die. So you'd have to kind of like brace up. Nigeria is a place where they won't allow us to have our own gun. If not, if you say that to an American, I would say, okay, bring it on. Just come prepared. Because I have my gun. But in Nigeria, no. You will be arrested if you are found with any gun, even if it's licensed. While the terrorists in Nigeria walk about, move around in war weapons, I'm talking about machine guns, given to them by their political sponsors. So I know some of you will be like, it's not going to happen. It will never happen. Sharia over Nigeria. Nigeria would rather break up. Okay. I remember people telling me 10 years ago, they used to call people like us alarmists. You are just an alarmist. So stop talking like that. This thing can never get to South. If they try this nonsense they are trying in Northern, if they try it in Southern Nigeria, Nigeria will just break up. People will talk say they go break up Nigeria. If the terrorism comes to the southern part of Nigeria today, now them they pay ransom. And then they are asking themselves, how did we get here? Man, how did we get here? Like Alaye, we got here because a lot of you are so weak that you are looking for a Messiah. A Messiah that will probably stop them while you continue to whinge about it. 10 years, you think it's going to be like forever? Give it another 10 years. Obama beresne di sheu. Sheu mayegun din. I say anakumla. Alaji mayegun. Emi kuku ni Rashid lorúkọ mi tẹ́lẹ̀ anyway. Give it 10 years. Right? And all of these things that you are telling yourselves will never happen. When they kidnapped a member of my own family, he didn't believe it. He never, I mean, the fact that it took, they were in the bush for about 4 days, just trekking. And they told him, they've surrounded the entire Yoruba land, for example. They know the whole place more than anybody else. They know how to walk from Iperu, Oderema, all these places, and walk straight to Osun State without meeting any security or anybody, including where they have highways, and now they will cross them. But the criminals who are supposed to protect us, they will rather kiss the ring, bend the knees for this terrorist and their sponsor for power. And then jail us for causing trouble, talking about it. That's what they call us, troublemakers. In 10 years' time, majority of them won't have any power. They won't have political power. They won't have anything at all. They will probably not even mean anything anymore. But guess what? Everybody will now be on the queue as the next step victims. So don't ever say that it's impossible when it is already happening here. So I am going to take a break. I want to take calls because yeah, let's take calls because later this night it may not be that fanciful. I tried yesterday, but yeah, but let's take calls this afternoon. So if you have to go now, remember, just like the broadcast, like it, share it, and of course subscribe onto Mayegun's Diary Political. Okay? You won't miss anything if you have to go. But if you're still here, I'll keep the line open. And I'll come back from my break in a minute. speak it, talk. Air Force One. Hello, sir.
Man, Baba.
Good morning. Good
God have
morning.
mercy.
How are you
Good
this
morning.
morning?
Good morning, sir. Well, I'm here. Nigeria news always, depressing. Uh, very, very depressing. I don't know.
It can be.
I
It
know
can be. But it's
I'm,
actually
I'm,
next up for everybody to just get to know what's going on so that nobody is caught unaware. Here you get. Wow.
I know, but my curiosity is this: what is going on with Nigerians? Obviously, these people are liars.
100%.
I mean, about this petroleum thing, why is it that once something happened in Nigeria to the detriment of everyone's welfare, like petroleum products, electricity not being regular, they just adapt. Like we just adapt to like everything because I remember when I was back there too. Petrol, there was a time kerosene was not even available. We have to be using sawdust, making coal pots, all these things. Are we born to suffer or what is this? How long are they going to hold their hand?
No generation is spared. Everybody will experience it.
So how long is this going to keep continuing? And they will be lying to these people. Dangote will say this. Federal government will say this one. Kadobi will say this one. Whatever that, all these cooks. What is this? What and that's what I tried to say yesterday. That they elected you into office, you didn't perform, you gotta go. That is American slang. But if you hear them saying you gotta go, you better start leaving. Because the next thing you're gonna see, they're gonna pull out their guns. If American tell you that, any American tell you that you gotta go, just go. You just have to leave. What is all this? What is
democracy? This? There is no democracy in that contraption. It is pseudo-democracy. Aslikas, where you have elders who are pretty much like two-faced, Sometimes majority of them believes that some things won't affect them. Here you get. So until it affects them and they begin to scream. It's unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate because these people are just sitting down like a lamb. What is that English again? Say lamb dog or whatever. Lamb, I don't remember the word now. They're just sitting down there and they're being bashed, malnourished, maltreated in all areas, and they're still taking it in. I mean, they're still taking everything in.
Yes, sir.
And Dangote, I said before, he's not a real businessman. You can't compare Dangote with people like Elon. Elon Musk still started from the scratch. So, I mean, it's just so sad. I don't know how long this is going to continue. I don't know how much breaking point.
As long as people remain kind of like, docile and nonchalant as well. So it will continue.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Hopefully we'll be alive.
Well,
Baba, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. Just so sad. Thank you for giving me a chance.
Thank you so much for stopping by. You have a good
day.
Okay.
Thank you.
So people who have this savior mentality and then the sort of a conquered people's mentality as well. We there's nothing we can do. We don't even know. In fact, maybe only God will come because people know that God won't come and help them. But there are many Nigerians who believe that God can send somebody. Here you get now. But the problem also is that how would you know if God sends someone? If some of you are really, really in bed with your oppressors, how would you know when God sends someone? Because what I have seen so far is that people love their oppressors differently. And for that, they are ready to even kill anybody that tries to stand against or stand up to them. You will hear things like, who sent you? You too. You will do worse than them if it's you. You will do worse like any call. You will know that all of you are the same. Like that. So people who have the mentality that they know that God won't come and help them, but God will send someone in that same breath. How would you know if God sent someone in this way that this way that Nigerians is right now? Hello there.
Yeah, hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Idris. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Thank you very much, sir. And good afternoon to everyone on today's broadcast. Yeah, I wouldn't want to say much. Firstly, I just want to first congratulate you on your past on getting to that. It's really. I was really happy that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was really happy, and I think that there is still much more people to come to this. So, and it's not even about the number; it's about the lecturing and the educative part, the enlightening part. Because a lot of us would have even gone astray. Myself, I would have gone astray if not because I have a platform that is giving me the truth here that I'm listening, which it's just reshaping my mind, my mentality. Yes, I'm a Muslim, but I now found out that it's not about religious, it's about humanity. So it's about what you have in your brain. What it is not about what one person will just stay in the front of a congregation and start preaching relevantly that will not even resonate with himself. Imagine someone preaching that, oh, you know what, this is a Muslim, let us rally around and support him. Whereas you are at the end of the day, you still need to come. You have to bring money. That okay. Whereas the economic is also affecting we. It's also affecting we that we cannot even purchase anything. But now you want me to bring money. You want me to bring money just because you want to pray for me. But I can't provide money. So I don't understand. So we need to your broadcast is really enlightening a lot of us, especially we in Nigeria, because it's like we are still in the dark world. If you can move out of Nigeria, definitely you will now your eyes will be open. But if you are still in Nigeria, I believe that you are still in the dark world, and that is where we are. We have been under the shackle of this political hegemony that they've even suppressed us. We cannot see anything. Everything is just going on the high side every day, and we just keep rigmaroling about it. And I don't understand that. Oh, let us just accept our will that this is Nigeria has happened to us. Okay, we should continue. There's no voice that we cannot even say anything. Once you say something, they will shut you up. Imagine the death of this chief of army staff. I'm very sure it wasn't yesterday that he died, or 2 days that he died. He has died a while back, but they shield the truth from us. And what I now believe that for anything that comes out from Nigeria about anything saying, I should just have it at the back of my mind that there is a truth from everything. If they say that, one person, let's say, once they say, one person died, let me just believe that the person died. So now it now comes to the
official announcement,
officially, but I have
once they deny it,
yes,
must be true.
It must be true. And now the thing now is every day, companies are shutting down. Even the ones that are trying to move out of their shackle, they are still being, as in now companies are like every company, they are shutting down. Logistic company, they are shutting down. I work with a logistic company, but now everybody is now fearing because they are even giving letter. Like last week now, they still have to stop two people
in that place, right?
Yes, they still have, exactly. So they had to stop some people, and now we've seen a memo that they're still going to downsize a lot of us. Even we that we just came in onto the board, they're still going to downsize us. Reason being is that the cost of this thing that they are the cost of expenses on the bike, fuel and everything, and now there's not even more customer for this logistic. Everybody just has okay, if I want to dispatch anything, I'll just go and meet a driver. Please, are you going to Solway? Just tell me to give. You cannot even order anybody again, and that is what is affecting us in this country. It is just going bad. It's going bad. Mr. American, you mentioned something that it has gone to see. Mr. American, there are even as at There are many times that I will still have to call my mom at my age. I'll still call my mom that mommy so long me, I'm saying at my age, and it still happened to us. But now, yes, when the election came, we did not participated, but we left them. Okay, go and do your. But now it is affecting every one of us. It is affecting all of us. The disaster is not even. It doesn't even knows anybody. It's affecting all of us as we go. But I know that very soon, Ojo Body Mala. Thank you very much.
God bless you, Idris.
All right, sir.
Okay, you stay safe, all right? Brother, here is another caller. Mind you, I've wanted to possibly pass this on, okay? So everyone who has been following what we have been doing, especially our group called the Yoruba Union. So there is a link where you can actually be part of us on the Telegram, just to have a clue of what we are up to, meet other people, other members of our union. So I am going to, hang on, let me see if I can share our link there. I have a caller on the line, but one sec. So copy link. So if you have been hearing about Yoruba Union, you want to be part of that, you are welcome. Here is a link. This one is for the Telegram part. Then you will need to visit the yorubaunion.org. You can search for that, www.yorubaunion.org, and read a bit about us and possibly sign up to join us as well. So as we are coming to the end of the year, we will be relaunching back all our activities, the support programs across Yoruba land. And you, if you do love Yoruba land, as a Yoruba or a friend of Yoruba, you probably will be joining us as well, okay? I'll tell you more later. Here is my man, Inaoni.
Inaoni na gajiya Mayigun.
Lafiya kalau.
Kana lafiya.
Aiki, Ayamata.
Lafiya kalau.
Alhamdulillah, Mandala.
Kai baka san nawa ya same ni ba yanzu. Donald Trump zai mai da ni Africa, zai yi deporting nawa. Donald Trump zai yi deporting ina.
I don't think it will happen. So I may not know the response for that, but I get what you're saying.
Why you good? Donald Trump go deport me.
It's not going to happen.
I want weary. I want
no, it's not going to get that power.
Where they don't know any. People go just open.
Yeah.
As in, I don't understand how people just think like that.
It's
like just like
man.
that.
It's called fear-mongering.
Just like that. Like that's madness. If you know the kind thing where they don't plant for people head for here, say the kind of propaganda, this, that, Kamala Harris.
Some of the meltdown on social media since
yeah, Mayegun, if you
like people were believing that they would have all their right taken from them. Like how? How could Americans believe like that? Believe that somebody will take all your rights away from you, like because he becomes president. Say, he will become a dictator. Okay, America.
Mayegun,
yep.
When Biden came. When it was Biden and Trump, I didn't like Trump to an extent.
Right.
Until Biden came and I looked at it like, oh, Trump is better. At this point, Trump is better. I'm telling you.
Biden that said that if you're not voting for him, you're not black enough.
No. Do you know that Kamala Harris,
yep.
She never claimed to be black until this time. Because she was looking for black people.
Is Jamaican. She should be black.
She's Jamaican.
Yeah,
yes, but she never wants to align. Yes, she never wants to align with.
She never aligned with the black.
Yes, exactly. But when it came to presidency, she's now looking for sympathy, and some people fell for it. That lady is so fake. I tell you, there are a lot of things that she did, and I looked at it. I prefer Trump because Trump is someone that is so like, he's strict. In Kotoba Sobo, she saw the way he talk, he no send anybody, Papa. Like, see what he want, he no send. He's just real. He's being real. And people hate people who are being real. When you are being real, some people don't like it. They want you to kind of like fake. He doesn't fake it. He just says what he wants to say. Like, this is what I want to say. I don't care.
He owns it as well.
Exactly, he owns it. And that is what I've read, like I've noticed and read about. Ever since he left power, I've been like kind of like reading this guy the way he does his things. I can't see no be waiting, and they talk say, he go deport you. Just like that, he go come meet you, begin deport you for what? If you are in this country legally, he has no rights. He has no right to send you anywhere. No. But if you are here illegally, then definitely you have fears. And you shouldn't even have fears if you are already on your paperwork trying to process your papers or whatever thing. You are just following what the law says. That's fine. Nobody's going to send you anywhere. Anyways, that one aside, yeah, you don't go. Our president don't come, and congratulations to him.
Look forward to Trump this and that now until then.
Exactly. So congratulations to our. So now back to the concentration camp. You see, Nigeria, that governor, that Sokoto state governor.
And you see what they did to that lady,
hear anything. No, people from north never they talk about me. I no get chance these 2 days. I go trigger a lot of things up these 2 days. Because you get one group who do like, I go trigger a lot of things up because nobody did talk about that case now. Nobody is even talking about it.
For embarrassing
I'm
government.
telling you.
That's what they locked up for right now. She's in police custody. And people are not actually rising up. I mean, I expect women or women group to rise up for her. But it is Nigeria. Everybody could just mellow.
Huh. You see, Amber? So people just keep right. This guy don't arrest. You don't arrest somebody. You don't arrest waiting be name. One guy when he wiped the spray dollar because the guy released the video. You arrest him. Same you. We use 1.2 billion to take repair borehole. Like me, I don't understand where people mind they like where their senses. The same person will be say you get one video where this guy sit down, they share money for people. They give them, is it like 500? How much they share? They come on money from pocket, they give them. I can't look and say she na so won't continue, but me, I go trigger something up. Make them no worry. Make them no worry. We will go trigger something up. They go that talk. It must go viral. That lady, they must begin film. They must begin film. Which kind of talk with that? Because this girl talk say if now your wife somebody enter your house, come for in front of you, make it they watch me somebody they make they sleep with your wife. You go the thing go sweet.
That's what she said.
Now
It's because it's happening.
Like
women, children.
What she said completely there. There is nothing that is not true. Everything she said is just the way it is. What is happening right now in Sokoto? Sokoto has turned to something else. People can imagine. I was talking to someone, which it was it last week. He said, "Now he never passed like hours. So we say they've been cross. God save him. He escape enter bush. Therefore don't kidnap him. Nah. I say, seriously. He say, wallahi. Therefore don't kidnap him for Zamfara. Now God save him.
Meanwhile,
so this thing not be said
2 days ago.
These things don't make. I tell them, I say, look, you guys are just being worried about what's going on in Palestine. They are killing people in Palestine. If the things that are happening in Zamfara, Sokoto, northern part of Nigeria, most places, not even northern part of Nigeria, most places in Nigeria, if those things are making it to the media, they are fake media that they have. If that media was working and all those things are making it there,
that the guilty conscience is worrying the northern Nigeria? Because under Bokwari, some of these guys were saying that protest is around, so people should just pray. They shouldn't complain. And more people were kidnapped, though. More people were killed, though. So could it be the guilty conscience worrying them now? That right now people barely report all these incidents from northern Nigeria now. Barely. What could be it, man?
Na hypocrisy. Because me, I don't tell them no be once, no be twice. Me na fire them, no be once, no be twice. Because now, okay, you guys are concentrating on Palestine. Do you even know what is happening under your own noses? Because it doesn't make it to media, because the Palestinians and the other people, other Muslims around the world, that you feel like, oh, they are doing this to Muslims, is it because they are theirs have been they made it up to media, but yours is not made up to the media because you people have people who are behind all these things, and they know if it comes to the media, their own is finished. So they continue to kill you, finish you guys on the ground. But all you just concentrate on is another country. Oh, they are killing Muslims in another country. Do you know how many they are killing in close to you? Every day you go through all this nonsense. Every single day. There is this video, I don't know, you might have seen the video where we say they go farm. They fire, they kill people. This video don't taste more. They fire, they kill people on top farm. They just kill people, go. And on top machine, the guy they drive, they go. See
Niger
as
State 2
people.
days ago, then killed 11 people, right? 10 farmers,
Yeah.
and 1 Chinese guy, and they cut off their head. I don't know if you share the image, I don't know if you share the picture online, I mean the video online. I don't know if you even bring the video here. I saw it and I was like, oh my god, like what the dead body they ground, oh, they no get head.
The thing no be here. No, the thing no be here, I tell you.
And I didn't
And
see any single northern influencer on social media even talking about it. Not a single one.
Maigun, if you check the influential over there, but now I'm a updates. You get within that they talk now.
Maybe they threaten people.
No, you get within that they do now. Update of someone's nude has leaked, so they are trying to share update of that. Is most of the stories, or anything that will make you laugh, any funny stuff, but anything that concerns the well-being, they are not interested. Like the engagement you even see. One of the bloggers, because I have close rapport with some of the bloggers, that one of the blogger posted, he said, look, sometimes that we don't bring all this news is not because we don't want to bring it, but the engagement you even see is like people don't even want to listen to the news. It's not like it's from us. They are not interested. So we just give them what they are interested on. And I was like telling him, like, no, you just have to keep giving that news out. But guess what? The engagement will drop. If you don't give them what they want, the engagement will drop. That is how unserious. Exactly. That is how unserious they are. Okay, now Maegun, look at, for the past, I think I've been on this platform, I think for like maybe 7 to 8 years, but I started engaging this platform maybe like 4 or 5 years back. That's when I started engaging you more on this platform. But look at it, we are just hitting 100 subscribers because people don't like to listen to the truth. People know they don't want to listen to anything we go be like truth. They don't want to listen. Now waste of time. I can't sit down 1 hour, 2 hours. They watch this guy. Beg. Just talk with him, one talk. Just give me a shot. Me as I did, so myself, I know Sabi give note. I know Sabi give talk in short, like cut time. I know Sabi. I go on give you in full. Say see as it be, see as it be. Details. But people, they just want someone that is gonna come give them just 5-10 minutes video.
5 minutes,
crack
okay.
them up.
2 minutes,
5-10 minutes. That kind of thing. Anyways, if you don't want to be part of the family, then that's your business. But we are here. We don't hit 100. We go hit that 200. No wahala. More they go.
And we love it when we are
not say anything. We just want genuine people. Exactly. Yeah. We don't really mind, but we just want genuine people.
It is not quantity. So it's just normal. Quality. I like that.
It's just normal. Maegun, they come. Somebody say your president, not our president. Whether you like it or not, Donald Trump is still gonna be our president. So if you go quiet down on our problem, it's our president. Our president. You can die. I am a Trumper, Baba. I am a Trumper. Forget.
You'll be MAGA.
When I leave Kolu, they come here, they talk to your president. It is our president. You all like right, it or not, our president, push it down.
Take them easy, okay? You have a good one, Ahmed, all right?
Oh, yeah, now,
let me take another one. Our body, anyway, gonna come together. Okay, that's Ahmed. It's gone. So, listen. If you haven't really liked the broadcast, I love to remind you, okay? Please do. Here is another caller. Hold up.
Yeah, hold up from Liz. Yeah. Good evening.
How are you? Good evening, sir. That's Older from Liz, yeah?
I'm fine. Yeah, yes. Good one. Well, it's nice listening to you again today. It's just that the guy that was begging for the citizens or the Nigerian people to come and submit all their dollars into the central bank. But are they telling us? So they want. So people are so stupid to go and give the thieves their money to keep that from them. So who wouldn't know? Who would not know that these people will be the one to steal the money?
No,
as soon as everybody gives the money, they will start. They will start sweeping the whole thing and put it inside their pocket, and then
that's what they have been doing now. If you leave your money in the domiciliary account, it may be gone before you know it. They'll give you naira.
Yeah.
And take it.
So the only thing that is keeping people afloat now is that hard currency that they have that people are holding on to, because Nigerian naira is not trustworthy, and you can't even use it to do anything.
Currently, Nigerian naira is the third worst currency in the world, like right now.
Right.
You understand? So
yeah. Look,
it's out there.
Yeah, I will tell you one of the reasons why I hate these gangs that call themselves government. One of the reasons is that shortly before the election, and then before they swore that bastard in, I sent £10,000, right, to Nigeria. Okay? So 3 months down the line, they rendered that 10,000 useless, completely useless. And then I was like almost crying that, oh my God, what have I done? Why did I do this? Why did I send my money? If I had known, I should have just kept it to myself, and then be sending it little by little as things unfold. But it happens. And then even if I decide to say,
you know that if you for example, that your £10,000, right, in 2015 was would be like a 2.5 million naira. Was it? Yeah, 2.5 million. Okay. Today, that 10,000 naira will be 25 million naira.
Yeah.
However, if you had the 2.5 million, if you have 2.5 million in 2015, which is equal to £10,000. So let's say you send £10,000 and they credit your account with 2.5 million. Now you left the 2.5 million in your accounts. Today, that your 2.5 million is now somewhere around 400, like £900. Sorry, £1,100. So that means you lost £8,900 in 9 years. Do you get that math? But if you leave your £10,000 in a domiciliary account, right, it will still be 10,000 though, but it will be like 25 million today. So everybody that that sent money back home back then, right, who were sending money. Let's say you send, I'm using the 10,000 again now, £10,000, 2.5 million. That's a lot of money back then, okay? But in naira,
because naira, bag of rice was 7,000 then.
Back then, sure you get. So today, 2.5 million. After they have removed the bank charges for 9 years, maybe you only have maybe 1.2 million left. That your 1.2 million is going to be maybe today will just be like £600, less than £600. Baba, I will be vexing.
Okay, and
like and then, they rob me be that oh, I go feel like they rob me.
Yes, what you see, what we see is only people from no background in Europe here who call themselves to be politicians. All of a sudden, they become so hyper rich. They bought themselves houses here and all. So who wouldn't know that isn't our money? That is our money going into there. We are the people in the diaspora are the one actually who is financing Nigeria as it is today, because it's the money that we're sending there that yes. So we wouldn't allow anybody to bamboozle us. That one is encouraging people to come and submit money into their domicile. Look, that domiciliary account is not safe. They will loot it, they will take it, and they will say, what will you do? Go to court then. Right? So that's what they will say, because there's no law. There's all they have there is impunity. There's no law. They are all bunch of cretins, cockroaches going around, right? So what's now? What do I want to say? Oh my God, I've forgotten again. My God, and I thought I was, a bit vocal today. But anyway,
everything's sorted. Don't worry, I've told you. Hold up. Once you have see, even if you plan to have a 3 points made and you made 1 or 2, you've done well. Okay, let's keep the rest for later in the night. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you for listening.
Now only me, even me, that comes here every now and then. You can see if you read the description, I always list what I want to talk about, so that I don't forget. Because sometimes you can get so drowned in one of your points that the remaining ones can just lie off your, So I have another caller here. Hello, sir.
Hello, Mayegun.
Hello, Baba. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Very well, oh, I'm still surviving.
Oh.
Thank you for asking.
Okay, so I'm only calling today because of something that Ahmed said.
Okay.
So I just wanted to correct the fact on record.
So you disagree? Okay.
I totally disagree.
Let's go for it.
So this is what I disagree with.
Right.
When he said Kamala Harris did not identify as black. So that is a false statement. Now, it's not that it matters at this point in time, but sometimes we just have to clarify.
Little info there, a piece of information cannot harm. So go for it, man.
Yeah. So first of all, she was a member of the largest black sorority organization in the United States when she was in college, which is like 30, 40 something years ago. So she didn't just identify as black yesterday when she was running for president. She identified as black when she was running for Attorney General of California in probably 20 years ago. So there are certain things that just because Trump said something does not mean it's always true. I mean, we already know when Trump says a lot of things, they are not true.
Right.
So, I just wanted to clarify that there's nothing wrong with supporting any candidate, but you don't have to support your candidate's lies. Whether you're in America, whether you're in Nigeria, always in my opinion, before somebody comes out on public broadcast media to say something, I think we should always fast check it. Even when he was talking to you, he was making that same statement that people should do their research. People should do a detailed research of stuff before they come out and say it. So in this case, he should have done his own research about Kamala Harris calling herself. Has she ever called herself black? Yes. Was it this year? No. She's always identified as a black person, to the best of my knowledge, since she was in college in the 1980s. So it didn't just start because she was running for president. Then the other thing is, why should somebody from Nigeria wait for Trump, a white guy? Calling somebody from Jamaica is not black. I mean, that doesn't really resonate well with me.
Me too. Because we all know how everybody ended up in Jamaica.
Exactly. So somebody from Jamaica is black. I don't need a white guy to be telling me whether that person is white or black. Right. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to say. Then the other thing is said about people not bothering about what's happening in Sokoto, Zamfara, but bothering about what's happening in Palestine and Gaza and Ukraine or wherever. Like some politicians will tell you can walk and chew gum at the same time. Just because they're bothering about the lives that are being killed in Gaza are not worse than the lives that are being killed in Nigeria. Any lost life is a lost life, in my own opinion. So we should shout about what's happening in Gaza or Ukraine or anywhere. At the same time, we should also shout about what's happening in Sokoto. And I've been doing a great job about this, especially in Yewa. I mean, I learned about Yewa from you. Yewa local government, whatever the hell is going on there. So you've been doing a great job on that.
Once I'm aware of this, I will kind of bring it to light. Even though their media may be like, you know, I complain to myself. I'm like, they always have this media blackout on all these stories, to the point that even if I bring them out, our reactions to them is always mostly cold, where people just like, oh, okay, oh yeah, 20 people killed, well, okay, but I will still kind of let everybody know it is happening. That's what I do.
Exactly. So all lives, in my own opinion, all lives, there's no life that's more important. We should keep shouting about everything that's happening everywhere. But as soon as you say, oh, one part is not important and one part is more important, then you've already, we can't allow that.
No, we can't.
So every life is important, because when you fall into that trap, then you are falling into the trap of so-called quote and unquote oppressors.
That's right.
We believe if you kill one Onyibo life.
You know, well, I actually understand that makes sentiment as well, because we always have that, right? We have a place where people die in Nigeria almost every day, but I have seen some of these, in quotes, these northern influencers, because they are on social media too. So I'm getting it right; they are there.
Right.
But the way at which they promote what do you call this genocide in Gaza passionately, and then when it comes to what is actually happening next to them, can actually be something that calls for concern. To like, I mean, you can use the same energy. Please use the same energy. Call the attention out and say, please, because it is always more or less like no unconcerned sort of. It is, you know, like we said, it's so cringy. We have had Nigerians who have always been like, I stand with Ukraine, I stand with this, I stand with that. When it comes to, but that could also be due to the division that they've actually implanted in us as well. You know, if we look at it that way, okay, where people will be like, the killings in Kaduna, the killings in Sokoto, the killings in Zamfara, their business. We are more concerned about the death in France. We are standing with them in Ukraine. You get what I mean? So, go on.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think a large part of it is both. It's a larger part of the black man problem, I think. So a large part of it is colonial mentality. So anything that's Oyinbo is better than anything that's our own. So we already have that mentality. It's not just about life. Anything. It's the same thing. I mean, that's why some, I don't want to use this word, MFs want to keep importing petrol when there's petrol in your backyard. It's not that same mentality.
I'm still curious on why, where people, I mean, we have a lot of death happening in that place every day. But I feel like it's mostly, you know, like apart from the inferiority part of it, right? I'm thinking that the politicians who have divided us so much, you see those who are like Christians and those who are like Muslims. The first thing is that we look at everything with this our tribal or religious lenses, you know, like, are they Christians or are they Muslims? No, it's none of my business. Or it's my business that way when it concerns us. It's a shame though. But yeah, we'll keep
I think it's all of the above. It's the religion, it's the tribe, it's just all of the above. So I think I was listening to Abike the other day saying your favorite Auntie Tom. They wanted to get in touch with her. And she did not respond to them. So in my own opinion, I'm like, why is Abike trying to get in touch with her? She's already told you she doesn't want to deal with you people. Severally. And the fact of the matter is, no matter what her politics is, let's be realistic. If a party wins the next election in UK, she gets to become the next prime minister.
I'm telling you, then we are also probably. I'm believing that all of us go do soup. But man, there's no soup for anybody. There's always a system.
But that's
anyway,
okay.
You know,
that's okay. I'm not sure which state she comes from in Nigeria. Is it Lagos State? Is it? She's from Lagos, but
she was born she was born in Lagos. Some said that her parents were originally from Ekiti. But they have been Lagosian for like forever. You know, all this first generation.
The fact of the matter is, she can never become governor of Osun State, but she can become prime minister of the UK. So I'm just saying we have a lot of issues. That's all. That's
some reality check there too. Baba? Thank you so much, okay? For
I'm not even taking it to Anambra this time around. She can never become governor in Osun State.
You get? They will tell her to go back to, it's unfortunate, man.
Go back to Lagos. All right, then. Let me. All right.
Good one, Baba.
You too.
Cheers, man. That's Sam Gennett calling in from the US as well. Oh, you see, one thing about here is that sometimes when people say, I disagree with this person, there's likelihood that the first person will be calling back, but you only would have just a grace of 2 minutes. I hope you
make I get 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
So
2 minutes. 1 minute. Say it's okay. My you see, it's good to agree and to disagree.
That's
it's
why
very
I love
good.
This platform.
But it's very good. Yeah, it's very good for people to always listen to what you say before you come and disagree. Right. I did not say she is not claiming to be black, but she never claimed more of being black until now that she's looking for presidency. Get me right. Get the fact right. She always claimed my Indian race more than anything. Go and look at it. Don't tell me I didn't do research. How many of research have you done before coming up here? So do not come on and talk to people like I sound like I'm dumb or something, please. Well, that's wrong for you to even do that. It's not okay.
I hope that is on record.
So go do go do your research and do it. She claims more of an Indian heritage than claiming black. That is what she does. So please, Oga, I don't know where you come from. My thank you.
Take care. All right. All right. So I have another caller here, and I believe this is Mochi. Let's say all of you for America, you just woke up and it's gonna be all about you this morning. Hello. Are you there? I don't know if you get connected or if the line is has kicked you out though. Can you hear me? Please keep trying. Okay. So I have another caller. Hello.
Yes. Thank God. Hey, I just lock. Hey, God. Just fortunate I do. Yes.
You've been trying since suddenly you stopped. And yeah, luckily you are back again. How you doing, Baba?
Okay, yes, sir. Just the manage. Just small. No, not small. What's one I would do?
You go be my man. Thank you so much
Yes, sir. Okay. The thing I want to talk today, that guy we talk Kamala Harris, I mean Communist Harris, Kamala Harris or whatever she calls herself. Kamala Harris.
Say, this Trump people today. You is of your venting days though. Just take a minute. Go for it anyway.
So it seems to say when Trump was in power, the other time, business what they do here, it was moving very well. Because business what they do, we say, if the goods there, I go sell. I go get clients. Even as I do now, the client goods not today, but clients still they ask me. But that time where Trump did, things they different. You see? Right. So I just want these guys to go. Let them leave. Let them. I don't live for America, but as I did here, I profit from what they happen there. If that country sneeze me and I code
and America, so you can tell how it affects you.
They catch me. Yes. If they sneeze, catch me. So again, Kamala Harris talks. Somebody say Kamala Harris she black or Indian. Now like that girl, na Indian girl. Make us speak for Jamaican tongue. Na Indian girl. So she claimed say she at the time in one interview she claimed that when she was in university she was listening to Tupac, Notorious B.I.G. who got forgot all this Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. and she was smoking weed. Well, unfortunately, the time where she talked that thing, Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac, they were still little kids. They never even begin the rap. Even Tupac that time, his name was Zesty Shakur, not the Tupac Shakur. That one, I think in the late 80s or early 90s, now that one begin to happen. So you see how she lie. So when people talk, say, Kamala Harris is not black. Don't me say she don't carry black skin. It means that she's not a part of foundational Black American FBA. You understand? She's not FBA. FBA and the people will go there as slaves.
In our, right? She was part of what later is known as the biggest black, what do you call it, student group. Does that not count for something?
No, it doesn't. Because she ran when she become what do they call her? Right. Excuse me, please. Okay, when she become what do they call her? Prosecutor for California. What do they talk? No, be India. What they call her? When she becomes senator, no, be India. What they first Indian American. No, what do we hear? Even CNN do more documentary on her. Now all India, all her uncle, her sister, everything go now just India, all through. None of them be black. Even that Papa wouldn't say he's from Jamaica. He too, he's a Hindu. He's a Hindu, and so he has a connection to India. They were slaves they were slave owners in Jamaica. So what do the people they talk self? The one just spoil our head. I don't mean to speak French. I don't think they speak. No, do your research.
Because next thing now,
do your research.
Kamala supporter, we go call it. So last night, they were telling me, let's leave this Trump and this thing alone. People say we are not living. We are not getting away from all of these senators.
The side of belief they're very high. Yeah? Okay, no problem.
You know, the thing is, I want to
tell you something, though, please.
Anything will happen for America. The whole world will feel like. So I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Everybody will react here and they are either for or against.
Yes.
So we are in the season. Thank you so much.
I want to tell you something, I beg. I want to tell you something.
Oh yeah.
I want to tell you something. Just please. Just me. You hear the latest from very dark man. Say Papa J. Don't bring out another scam or this time I say a golden spoon and sugar. Golden spoon and sugar. I mean, what the hell is wrong with these people? What with these people?
But they get their customers, they get clients for that place. See, yesterday I had a video on Mayegun's Diary Political on Facebook, where Otobo Suleiman said, now woman president of America. Say God tell him. You know that one person came, right, and said the prophecy is true. Joe Biden never stepped down for Kamala. No be Kamala be president. No be Kamala run to be presidential candidate of. So the prophecy don't already come to pass. And I was like, Papa, you did okay, so, but I know guess trying to reply. Other people can't go there. Other people can't go under the comment. They say, thank you, Jerry, my man. Don't listen to these people. These people are so can you call? I was like, oh God, then I give up. They get their customers.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
So, as long as there is demand,
I think a big market. So anything where you carry come out, people go sell. People go buy.
As long as there is demand, there will always be supply, Baba.
Yes.
Have a good one. Oh my goodness. See, on Mayegun's Diary Political, right? Everyone can have a say. Mine is to listen. And if you disagree with anyone, all you have to do is respectfully just say, well, I disagree with that person and state your own position. That is what makes this platform more interesting. I believe it's not just by listening to Mayegun and listening to Mayegun. Just no. People react to what we do here. And here is, I believe, Emoji. Are you back?
Yeah, Mayegun. Thank you so much.
How are you this morning?
Yeah. I'm fine. Good morning, my brother. Yesterday I called in. When I called in yesterday, it's like they want to misunderstood me from what I said. They should stop talking about this Trump, come America, this thing. But from the program, it's one of the topics, But why I said it, I never said it, but to stop saying anything he's saying, because me too, I'm for Trump. I like somebody that everything he was saying, he was straight. He never go corner. So I like him, my own. But
I also got your position. It's just that not be only you. As you did on top call, right? Some people did comments, right? Then they talk, say, leave this here and talk about another thing. That's why I made the statement that I don't get control over what people say. The only control I have is what I say, which I always list out. But if you pick up your phone and you call in, right? Mine is to listen and probably engage you. So not be say no, not only you, but anyway, go on.
Yeah, for example, now from what Ahmed said, like what you said also, like the people at the north, they are more concerned about the killings in the Middle East and the other Muslim country and whatever. But in Nigeria, there's a lot of killings at the north. You know, so this is why I said this. We have a lot of problem in the Bible. They said, how can you leave a log of wood in your eye and want to remove the dust from another person's eye? In Nigeria, people are dying every day. I told you about what happened at Orile. Somebody wanted to, out of frustration, wanted to put set himself on fire with the last man. Had he been succeeded, it will be another bad news for Nigeria. You know, people will say it and go away. I saw a video. A northerner was making video about this rail line in Lagos, and he was saying something that the northerners look at what they are doing. The people at Lagos, they are developing Lagos. When you go to the comment section there, you will see them writing that Lagos is getting more money. Lagos is this. Lagos is that. Not forgetting that the northerners ruled Nigeria for 48 years. Without anybody disturbing them. So where are the money? All the money, I saw Sanusi riding on a Rolls Royce on a dirty road, on a right and left, clay mud houses. If you go to their street, I saw one video 2 months ago. A northerner was making video at the north. You see children on the street, and they separated them. Boys, girls, little ones, they separated them. They are getting all the money others are getting. They are getting more money because they have more local governments and more this thing. Why can't they do their state? Or even if they don't want to do their state 100%, they can do it the way our own Satan politicians, criminals are doing. Small. But all these ones, they have private jets more than commercial planes in Nigeria, and they are still hungry. And they are still
pack private jet for airports, and then we brag about it.
Yes, and they are still. And they are still complaining. Then, if you are talking about Trump and America, let us go back to what you showed us yesterday. I've been worried about this picture. You know, when at the court, we saw hungry and wretched children at the court. But when they're giving them back to the northerners, I now saw adults with dots on their foreheads. Not the pictures I saw at the court. Not the pictures that we saw.
As confused as you. I've been trying to juxtapose.
And people are not worried. People are not worried. Some of those children, I told that when the news came out, I said, who knows how many, since they are like this at the courtroom, who know how many that have died in that prison they threw away. If the same thing goes to the northerners, they are putting 20 million children on the street without sending them to school. If you cannot send them to school, give them free education or feed them well. They are only living on
some job skills and all.
They are only living on what people give them on the streets there. And now, who knows how bribe or exchange they make at that prison opportunity to release the criminals, release the people that have money, to release their own and replace them with those children. Still leaving them there because the people I saw now benefiting, because everything in Nigeria is to benefit any criminal around. Now they gathered their village people to exchange them, giving them phone, sewing clothes for them in exchange of those hungry children I saw at the court. Then let's go to Dangote. Dangote is a liar. He's a born criminal. He cannot compete with anybody. Dangote is supposed to float everything now and bring everything down. He's not paying for shipping. He's not paying for anything now. Just make it flat rate to cripple the marketers.
Those who are milking the system, you get?
Because he's a criminal. He never climbed that ladder on his own. He still has the bottle of Nigeria government in his mouth. He cannot compete. He doesn't know what it takes to compete. He doesn't know. So that's why he's finding it difficult, because he believes that he has done it for so long. Everything is free for him. Everything is easy for him. He cannot do it. That means he's a wicked man, a criminal, and he has no empathy. Thank you, Mayego. That's all I want to say this morning.
Have a good one there. I am taking my last call now. And to everyone still watching, please, if you haven't already liked the broadcast, please do so. Because after this call, that will be us for this morning or afternoon. And then we have to see later in the evening. Okay. Here is my last caller. Hello there.
Hello, sir.
Baba.
How you Baba? How are you doing?
Baba, same new. Same new.
In fact, I love your audience. Your audience.
No, my audience is like all mixed. They don't agree. Well.
This is what you have created. This is what you have created. All of them, they are coming out with everything you have put in everybody. Here I met the new everybody that's called before.
Everyone gets his own mind. Exactly. They are not zombies.
Yeah, Baba, I please Balogun ló sọ̀rọ̀. Ọmọ Baálé Balógun èdè pàṣẹpẹrẹ má dẹ lọ́yọ̀ ní.
Kò ní bàjẹ́ kábíyèsí.
Ọmọ ní ìtẹ́ ọmọ bí tí mo ti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. I'm going to start quickly because I know you're going to go. And I am your last caller and I'm going to be quick. Okay, Baba, thank God, Baba, thank God that Trump made it to that office. Because these Democrats, they are ruining the world. Do you understand? Do you remember when I last spoke to you, we spoke about America and what they do everywhere they go? Not all of them, but I'm glad and I'm happy that Donald Trump made it. Baba, I was at work and one of my colleagues at work was like, oh, Trump has made it again. We're going to have comedy in our hands and all that. I was like, that's better. It is better than only innocent people dying. Baba, look at how many people have died in Gaza and in Ukraine. And more wars that can be avoided. Things that can be avoided. The Democrats made sure they did not avoid it. They made sure they went to war.
You get?
Do you understand me?
When Donald Trump was coming in 2016, they said Donald Trump was going to start a third world war. But look at
it. Did not. A lot of us followed what Donald Trump was doing. Donald Trump said he went to Palestine first. The Palestinians were willing to do a deal. He went to Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu does not want to talk. He don't want to have any deal. He don't want to have any peace.
Remember Abraham's Accord? The one that brings a peace to the Middle East. Abraham's Accord.
Yes. He doesn't care about any of that. He wants the whole of that Middle East himself. He wants Lebanon. He wants Syria. He wants Iran. He wants Iraq. You understand me? People think it's just Palestine. No, it's not going to stop there. Where are they now? Are they not in Lebanon now? They're in Lebanon now. They are fighting war in Lebanon.
For Iran.
And let me back up people criticizing everybody talking about all those Nigerians talking about the Palestinians that are being killed. They are all correct. They are all correct. People are dying next door. Your next door neighbors are being killed. But you are more concerned about the Palestinians. You are not holding your own government accountable for your own people that are being killed. But people far away in Palestine, I'm not saying their lives don't matter, what they are doing is not good, but the same thing is happening to you in your backyard. In your backyard, Baba, use that same energy to attack your own government so that they can another terrorist group has emerged in Nigeria. How long are we going to be doing all this rubbish for, Baba? How long is all this shit going to continue for? Another visit has started. They come to the country now and saying they want Sharia all over Nigeria. How long is all this rubbish? How long is it going to go on for, Baba? And so now, do we not see now that all these things are government backed? As I see, get video, I want to bury. All the ones that started before, we haven't got rid of them. Another one has started.
In that same Sharia, you are not supposed to act. You are not supposed to kill innocent people. You are not supposed to attack people. But you are doing it to force that Sharia. This is so contradictory.
You're not supposed to force your religion on anybody. Even the Muhammad that everybody is talking about, he said it. Do not force anybody. If your religion is that good,
but this one's believe that you have to force it to all of them. I think say you just we go force you, we go kill you. It's so contradictory.
Exactly. It is, mate. It is. Because at the end of the day, if your religion is that good, you don't need to advertise it. People will join voluntarily. They will come and join you voluntarily. Baba, go and collect the kids from school. Go and enjoy your evening. I enjoyed Baba. I just read the caption. I didn't start the program. I read the caption and I was just listening to all your callers. And I got everything that was going on.
We are going to continue later. We are going to continue later.
It is amazing. It's amazing to talk to you. Thank you. Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Enjoy your day.
You stay safe.
You too, Baba.
So that's our fiscal there from the US as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for this afternoon. And money to those of you in the US. We shall continue later. Until then, remember, like the broadcast and share it. If you missed the last night's broadcast, the replay is coming up in the next few minutes. I hope you watch it so that you can catch up too. Good afternoon.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Mayegun dayari politico.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òkúrọ̀ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹ̀rùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.